Matt and Friends Drink the Universe is proudly sponsored by the Poppins Travel Company. Whether you're traveling across the universe like us or right here on planet Earth, it's always a good idea to have an expert to help you plan your trip. For your travel experts, look no further than the Poppins Travel Company. They'll help you book your next adventure or vacation, and the best part is they'll do your travel planning for free. To schedule a virtual appointment with one of their highly qualified travel agents, visit their website, www.poppinstravelcompany.com. That's www.poppinstravelcompany.com, or call them at 407-494-4070. That's 407-494-4070. Hello, listeners. We're all here to have fun.
But we'd like to take a moment to encourage you to always drink responsibly.
Never drink and drive.
If you have a complicated relationship with alcohol or other substances and you want to talk about it,
you can call 1-800-662-4357 for support.
Thank you for listening.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Welcome to Matt and Friends Drink the Universe!
All right, everybody, welcome back to Matt and Friends Drink the Universe. Today, we are going to do...
I'm Walter Brewright. Welcome to In Local Brews, where we dive deep into the flavorful world of our community's unique beverages. Join us as we raise our glasses to the stories, traditions, and craftsmanship that go into every sip. From the hidden gems tucked away in our neighborhoods to the latest trends brewing on the scene, we're discovering the heart and soul of local libations. Today's featured story, Lost Tavern Brewing.
So today's theme is In Local Brews. With me today, once again, I have some great friends drinking the universe with me. So we're going to go around the table and introduce ourselves.
Hi everyone, Masaki. My name is Masaki. I work at Lost Tavern.
Hi, I'm Jean. I also work at Lost Tavern.
Hello everyone, I'm Andy and I'm a friend of Matt.
Yep, that's how you got here. Yeah, that's how that works. I'm a friend of all these guys. I've known Jean and Masaki for quite a long time. Do we want to get into that?
Yeah, I'm down. Sure,
all
why
right.
not?
You two tell it. How do I know you?
So this was sophomore year.
I think it was our sophomore year.
Yeah, we walk into our Easton Drumline summer camp. Actually, I guess it's like the drum auditions, and lo and behold, we see someone new next to Aaron Hetrick, who was the original drumline instructor, and we found a second guy thanks to Carol Liddy. And lo and behold, we have Mr. Seltzer.
Oh yeah, I was Mr. Seltzer for 6 months, yeah. I think at least it was and I answered that because Carol, I love you to death on the off chance that you are listening, but I was not going to correct you in your own band room. It just wasn't going to happen. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And we had a lot of fun. We all went to the Orange Bowl.
Oh my God.
Which was
awesome.
Who played that year?
I have no recollection.
The Easton Marching Band in Little Big Town. That's who I remember playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was Georgia Tech and Georgia something. It was both Georgia football teams.
Okay, that's very cool.
So Jean and Masaki are here from Lost Tavern Brewing, and In Local Brews is all about talking about a local spot, tasting their wares, hearing the stories, hearing what goes into brewing the beer, and just learning about the brewery itself and having some fun along the way. So, gentlemen, I'm going to let you pick which one we're going to go first here.
Yeah, so in front of us here, we have a Japanese rice lager called Tapper, and then we also have a Mexican lager called Zestebon. I think if we start with the rice lager first, it's got a little bit of a softer flavor, and then head to the Zestebon, another lager after that.
Sounds good.
Crack this open.
All right.
Yeah, the Tapper is really nice. It's a rice lager, so, many people think like Sapporo. That's usually like the number one like rice lager. This is Japanese style of beer. This one we decided to use some yuzu, throw it into the beer, and it's really light, very delicate yuzu, like slight citrus taste and aroma.
Okay, pretend I have no idea what yuzu is.
I was just gonna ask.
Yes.
What is that?
So it's a citrus. It's more commonly found in like the Asian continents.
Okay.
It's kind of like the perfect blend of like a lemon and a lime.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really,
Very
really
cool.
nice fruit.
It sounds like it'd go well in a gin and tonic.
Yes, absolutely. They have one. There is a gin that uses yuzu in it. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's in a really nice green bottle. I'll have to look it up later and show it to you.
This is really good. Really light.
This is a very good beer.
That is very good. Yes.
It's the lightest beer we brought tonight.
It is the lightest beer.
We're gonna
Well,
go
good to start
heavy.
out with this one then.
Yeah, we're just gonna get heavier and heavier.
It's
super light on the palate. This is definitely one of those summer beers that you're gonna want to take to the beach and to the park or something. You have a picnic. Will probably go really well with like a chicken, a salad, anything really light that'll really help complement those flavors.
We've often joked on the podcast about finding like the after grass cutting beer.
That's exactly
This
what I
is
was going to say.
far too good to be
Yeah.
that beer, though. This can't be that beer. This has to be uncomfortable on the
This
patio.
is like a cornhole grilling kind of beer.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a cornhole
Yeah.
beer for sure.
I like the can of this one too. You got the root beer tapper vibes.
Basically, they got the 8-bit idea because Tapper is a game. It's like an arcade game.
Yeah, classic.
Really?
So when I have a beer that they brewed for me from like my Smash tournaments that I normally run, and they got the idea like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, why don't we do a video game one? And lo and behold, Tapper came to be. And if you look closely, you may not recognize them or know them, but all the little people are the brewers, the general manager, the owners. They're all in there.
Right there.
Oh,
Is
that's
that
really
is
cool.
that the owner right there?
Yeah, that's one of
Oh,
them.
wow, okay,
That's
yeah.
Tony.
My personal favorite Lost Tavern can is Allen Iverson. You talk about practice.
Oh,
yeah. That's a great can.
Great beer too.
It
Oh,
very
man.
much, yeah, it is. I mean, it took me a long time to find one last time it was released, but when I got it, I was like, I got to grab a whole bunch of these ones for people.
There you go.
A lot of our can art, the labels are done by someone who used to work at Lost Tavern, a bartender, Gretchen Gross. She has the Twisted Plot Co., which is
Okay.
it's pretty much her art business, and she does labels. She does some really great animal portraits. Her work is awesome, and most of these labels, if they're not done by Gretchen, are done by one of the owners, Kenny. And
Oh, very cool.
they produce some
Nice.
really cool, unique, catchy can art.
And Gene, you mentioned Smash tournaments.
So I run video game tournaments. They're fighting games, particularly.
Okay.
I run Super Smash Brothers Mele for the Nintendo GameCube. Been doing it for, I think I'm reaching like 10 years, I believe, or something
wow.
like that.
Wow.
So yeah, this game is pretty old. It came out in 2001 when the GameCube came out, and there's still tournaments for it, and it's a really hard game. But the community is really cool, very tight knit, and I do them all over the Lehigh Valley. I'm the head TO, which means tournament organizer for the Lehigh Valley and Philadelphia. Getting into like more of like a bigger role on like the national scale as of late. So it's been pretty cool.
Very
Oh, very cool. Congrats.
If you're listening to this and you have one of those boxy TVs, the CRTs, under 20 inches, and you don't want it, please give it to me. I will take it off your hands.
Go to mattandfriendsdtu.com and we'll forward the info to Gino. Our email address is in there.
Yes. Also, if you have any Nintendo Wiis, I will also take those off your hand. I'll give you $10.
I've actually bought the remember that the original Nintendo, but you can buy them on Amazon for like 600 games on it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's
yeah.
incredible.
Those are crazy.
Me and my fiance play like Paperboy and like the original like Double Dragons. Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I love the OG games. They're a lot of fun.
I scored a free Xbox 360, which is like my jam back in the day,
Nice. Yeah.
and just started playing Guitar Hero again.
All right, that
Of
game
course
is
you
that
do.
game
Of
is
course you are.
legendary though.
I'm awful at it, but it is so much fun.
Yeah,
You
Guitar
probably
Hero
turn the
3.
lights down, get the sparklers out. You get all into it.
The surround does go up. Yeah,
Okay.
that does happen.
I love that.
That's really tasty. Like really
Yeah.
light. You can taste the lemon lime in it for sure.
Oh yeah. What do you say we move on to the next
Yeah, I
beer?
think
All right,
we
let's
should
see what we
crack
got.
This is also a lager. This one's called Zestebon. When people come into Lost Tavern, they're looking for something light, looking for a lager.
Go for this one.
Describe this one similar to a Corona. It's a
Okay.
Mexican lager, so this lager is special because it's actually already infused with lime.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The origins of the name Zestebon is so back when the brewing used to be done at the Hellertown location, they would have a cleaner whose name was Esteban. Really, really cool guy. Really, really, always happy. Always showed up and did a really good job. And in order to commemorate him, they made a beer and they added, it's like a Mexican style lager. They added a little bit of zest, lime zest, and then they called it Zestebon. And this is probably like in my top 3 beers. This is one of the best beers I've ever had.
Yeah, I would say it's like somebody took Corona and put it through college. Like,
This is like a
Educated Corona.
This is
Yes.
like a lakeside beer, or I just finished cutting the grass beer.
It's a very subtle lime taste to this one, comparison to most of like the Mexican style lagers.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
Very, very subtle.
So Lost Tavern has 2 locations, one in downtown Bethlehem, PA, and one in Hellertown, Pennsylvania. And I visited the downtown location during a tiny music festival we have here called Music Fest, where I think this year they got like 1.3 million people in over 7 days. And I wish I would have known about this because I went immediately for the heavier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have stopped at the top of the menu and done a little more browsing than picking the heaviest IPA on the menu and saying, let's go for it.
So, unfortunately, Zestebon wasn't on tap. It's not even on tap in Hellertown.
Really?
We just have cans, yeah.
Oh, really?
So, this is, I wish it was on tap.
Thank you guys for coming yet.
I wish it was on
19
tap.
times.
We brought some can
Really good.
exclusives today.
Yeah, we
Very
did.
cool. Was this ever on tap or is it?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Okay.
Once. It went really fast, and they made a lot.
Okay.
Which
I
which
can see why.
location do you guys do the majority of your brewing and
Split
canning?
pretty evenly. There's a production facility in Hellertown that about a year ago
Mhm.
they used to brew in the Hellertown taproom,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and now they have a production facility. It's right down the street. It's
Oh, nice.
beautiful. I'm not sure the barrel system they had before. I think they have 2 15 barrel tanks, and then I think they also just got a lagering tank as well. So a lot of these lagers, they're awesome. I think that
Mhm.
a couple years ago, 5-10 years ago, IPAs took over, and some light beers are really coming back.
Agreed.
My opinion, that's a good thing. I'm not like the world's biggest IPA fan. I think there's some phenomenal IPAs, but I also think the market is just, and it's just my opinion, is completely saturated with.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, how much does Lost Tavern brew on a regular basis? Like, do you know the annual?
No, I'm not sure, but I know we brew at least 1 beer a week. At least.
So one completely new beer every week. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
For the most part, it is just 1 beer a week. Sometimes 2. I mean, it really depends. Sometimes we'll release like 3 beers. It really depends on like what's kicking at the tap room, like what we're running out of.
Okay.
When I worked there last, I noticed that in the keg room, we're down to like 1 keg of like a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's
wow.
a lot of low stuff. So
Oh.
we'll be
Could it
seeing.
have anything to do with Music Fest?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. How many kegs did we sell? Like 123 or something like that is total.
Something like that, 130
Yeah.
In a week, right?
over
Yeah.
like 10 days.
It was crazy.
All right, I'm going to take the opportunity to. We're going to do that.
E equals MC Hammer.
We talking about
We are talking about
So yeah, and that any button pushed comes with a kind of a drinking game. You got to take a sip after that too. Jean has the worst problem you can have here in what we lovingly call the booze bottle rocket, which is an empty glass. There you go.
You know, there's one thing that I was telling Masaki, was it yesterday? I was like, there's nothing like a beer after the first one. It really is. So this is tasting fantastic right now.
Now, Lost Tavern, do you guys have any contracts with any local distributors, or just only purchase from the tap rooms?
That's a great question. I think that we're just finally phasing into the stage of business where they're distributing and they're doing distribution to consumers. So we have
Great.
these disposable sixtils that you can just go right in the recycling bin. You don't have to return a keg or a sixtil back to the facility or anyone. But we are in quite a few restaurants and tap rooms across the Lehigh Valley. One of the owners, Kenny, takes care of a lot of those orders. He's always out in his truck or the delivery truck delivering kegs to local restaurants. I know right in Easton by me, I can always go to the Bayou. They have Lost Tavern on tap.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. Now I'm going to be looking for it like everywhere I go. So
There's quite a few places with Lost Tavern on tap. That
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
go
that's awesome.
somewhere and actually be surprised, like, like you have us on tap. That's cool.
It's really nice.
And your face lights
Cool.
up, I'm sure. Just like, oh, this is great.
I get the beer that I can also get at work, but I
Yeah,
get it when I
seriously.
go out.
We're at the Wind Creek now too.
Oh,
Are you really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
While we're talking about exciting places to visit, this is a good time to give a shout out to our sponsor, Poppins Travel Company. If you're looking to visit Music Fest in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, or anywhere else on planet Earth for that matter, give Poppins Travel a call, and one of their qualified agents will help you book your dream vacation. You can also visit them at poppinstravelcompany.com to book a virtual appointment.
Do a sour.
Gene says sour. All right. Now, if I remember correctly from a previous episode, Andy was not the world's biggest sour fan.
Sours are,
So
I don't
we
want to say
have
sours are the least favorite for me, but it's just like, it's not my sucks the moisture out of your face like a anything sour does. But it's
Let's see if we can convert you. Let's see if we can convert
We
you.
got
I
a
think we
great
could.
following of.
Let's get a new cups for this one.
New cups for this one?
Just because it is
A lot of
sour.
people do come to Lost Tavern just for our sours, and I think across the valley, I think honestly, out of any brewery I've been to in person, we have the best sours out of anywhere I've been to.
Great.
I've had a couple of really good sours. There was one, and it was like a pie theme. It was blueberry pie or something like that. I can't remember which
Blackberry
one.
blueberry.
That was it.
It's funny. This Sunday, so we had some crawlers of that,
Okay.
and I originally what was supposed to happen was I was supposed to turn it into like a sangria and sell it during our cocktail Mondays. And honestly, I got really lazy. So this past Sunday, I turned it into a slushie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was really good. I basically boiled down some of the beer, and then I added sugar, turned that into a syrup, and then I just added the beer and the syrup, and
That's a great idea.
it was really good. Oh, and a whole bottle of vodka.
What's this sour called?
This is the onomatopoeia. This is actually a rendition that they do on some of their sours called the gelasto. So it's kind of a play on gelati or gelato in Lost Tavern. So gelasto, onomatopoeia. And what they do is they take the beer that they've already made, in this case onomatopoeia, and condition it on a non-dairy soft serve. And it
Oh, wow.
becomes a
So this-
smoothie sour.
Yeah,
It
Oh,
took a
interesting.
minute there for
That's
that to
awesome.
register. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
seriously.
This is the solution to people who can't have like dairy. So instead of using like milk
okay.
sugar,
Yeah.
Okay.
it'll have the Dole Whip is basically what it
Okay.
is. It's coconut based, so it gives it that same creamy texture while also being dairy free.
This can, and I'm going to post the pictures, like fine art too. Like
Yeah.
that's
It's really cool.
that is an awesome can.
The
print.
regular onomatopoeia is our #1 selling beer.
I'm looking at Andy's face.
I must
It,
say,
it doesn't say I dislike it.
I
It's
am
a happy
honestly
face.
pleasantly surprised in a good way. That's a fantastic.
Sunny
That's a
D.
Got
fantastic
like
sour.
a mango peach pineapple.
Yeah, tastes like Tang, Sunny D.
Again, it's
It
a
really
very
does.
subtle taste,
It really
but again,
does.
for me, my preference is like that's perfect. That's a
It's hitting,
not overpowering. That is very good. You could definitely
Yeah.
taste the fruit with that. That's excellent.
Actually,
with
this is my
breakfast.
first time tasting this batch. This is actually really good compared to
Yeah.
the last batch.
All right. Here at Matt and Friends Drink the Universe, as most of you know, we have a high honor for our beers, and that is the Stellar Sip. So for Andy's happy face and the fact that this is freaking delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Stellar Sip.
Yeah, this beer is phenomenal. I would put this out of the beers I've had,
That's
Lost
good.
Tavern specific. I think it's my top 5.
It's so different, but in a good way. And that's
Andy
why
looks
I
like he's
it.
rethinking his life choices over
I'm
here
not going
right
to
now.
start
It's like-
jumping on the sour bandwagon at all, but this is fantastic.
We have other sours, different flavor profiles, but similar concept.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Very cool.
We did a pineapple whip one time, gelato pineapple whip. There was
In
We have
comparison to the
one,
other ones, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
In comparison to the other ones, do you feel like these one, because you said this doesn't have no milk, sugar, or anything like that? Do you think that minimizes the souring taste, or how's that contrast with it?
So the regular one, we're done using milk sugar.
Okay,
We want everyone to be able to like actually have the beer.
fantastic.
Nice.
So that's
Very
why we
cool.
made the move. I think they had another solution where they used is like maltodextrose. It's like some type of like other glucose like sugar, but they decided that like this is probably like the best thing to do instead of using milk sugar.
I appreciate that. I have a lot of people in my family, myself included, that are dairy sensitive.
You find that a lot of IPAs. You know, a lot of IPAs have the lactose in them, and I mean, no, that just definitely does not agree with me.
I think they put the lactobacillus culture in there because it's harder to break down. So when the yeast is eating those sugars, it gives it a higher alcohol content. So they get those double IPAs, triple IPAs with the milk sugars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes them, I think, thick too.
Yeah.
This just tastes good.
Yeah. This is like our normal slushy. We throw this with
This has got to be amazing as a slushy.
Yeah, it's very
slushy.
good.
It'd be
This.
amazing as a
Very
slushy.
good. On a hot day. Oh my God.
Little
It tastes
taster.
like a
Yeah.
fruit smoothie.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
It tastes like it should be really good for you. It really does. It tastes like beer. It tastes.
And
It
it's
just tastes really
almost
good.
it's almost 8%.
Yeah.
I was just I couldn't see the ABV on the can.
Yeah,
This
it's like
is
I think,
8%.
I think it's 7.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is
That would
dangerous.
go easy.
These two are both
That
like
would-
something like
Yeah,
4.5
oh,
or
sure.
5. The
Yeah, on a hot day, that would go from I'm having a delicious beer to I'm diving into kiddie pool topless in like 10 seconds. Give you a window
That
into
you're
my
not
life.
permitted
Yeah.
to use the grill then.
No longer qualified for propane.
Propane. Dang it, Bobby.
So what I had going on in my head, but I wasn't going to attempt a Hank impression. So well timed.
I knew what it was immediately.
King of the Hill.
Yep.
Oh,
I really love Boomhauer. Yeah, man. You know, sometimes these beers be tasting real good. Sometimes you just take your shirt off and you want to go in the kiddie pool.
I can understand that though.
Yeah, well, I can't. Whoever does the voice acting for Boomhauer is awesome. That is so funny.
Gene, that was amazing.
This show doesn't get enough recognition, so thank you for bringing that back.
Absolutely.
I thought I heard something about a reboot for that one. Maybe I'm losing it. I thought I
No,
heard
you
something
probably
about a
did because they try to
reboot about
reboot
that for-
everything. No new ideas. Let's just try to revive everything.
Yeah, that's all right. That one can come back. That one's cool.
Okay.
I mean,
So
unlike The Simpsons, which never needed a reboot because it never went
I
anywhere.
know,
It's-
seriously.
Simpsons is on that predicting the future
Yeah.
reality type stuff now.
It's really weird. Yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't know. What do you mean?
They just have scenes or certain frames that people have picked out that depict things that happen in reality.
Okay.
A lot of them have been found that The Simpsons did it after it happened, so they're
Oh,
like
gosh.
debunked or whatever. But some of them are legit.
Oh, wow.
Like different political. I know there was a couple of different political things. None of them like jump out, but I know there was
Okay.
a couple like election things that
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
Be careful. You're going down the political hole.
I know that's normally, that's topic non gratis on this podcast. I'll have to cosmic chug myself for it.
You blame
but-
it on The Simpsons. It's okay.
Yeah.
No politics.
Yeah.
That's my number one rule at the bar.
Yeah.
No politics. That's why I always hate putting on the news. Sometimes
It ruins good
I
beer.
used to work at some other spots and they'd be like, "Can you put the news on?" Like, no.
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 That's like giving people on a plane that's been delayed for 4 hours alcohol. It's just a bad
it's
idea.
like-
All right. So this is the Grace. This is along with another beer that we brought on. This would be like, I would say, one of our flagship beers.
Okay.
Always have this beer. It's just classic pale wheat beer.
I remember this one when the guys like the first opened.
Yeah, real easy drinking. Beautiful label art, honestly. The dove, it's very, very pretty.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
one of the simpler designs that I guess gets slept on. Like some people go to the more complicated label art, but I really like this simple dove design. I'll let y'all look.
See, you say simple. I think that's an artistic masterpiece. But
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
compared
really
to some
cool.
of the other label art, this one is, I
Oh,
should
that
say,
is awesome.
simply a dove. There's nothing else going on, but the dove is beautiful.
I'm known for my stick figures, and that's about it. You know.
I'm not even known for those. Those got rejected from my art teachers. They're like, draw better stick figures.
This one's going to be pretty straightforward for a wheat beer. Just light, crisp, slight orange peel flavor to it. Honestly, it's just like you get home from work, you just want a quick beer, nothing too heavy. This will set you straight.
I love it. I love the name.
Also, really cool thing to know about this beer is that I don't know if you guys can taste like some of those floral notes. So it's kind of like
definitely.
an orange blossom floral notes to it. It's really, really nice. Again, like with like Tapper, like if you're gonna want to eat something light like a salad or like some chicken, this is definitely the beer to go.
It's almost like wildflower. Like it's really interesting. It very complex, very very complex, but also not overwhelming to the point where it's like not refreshing. It sits right in the pocket of
and
flavor. Like
that's what I'm
it's-
trying to. I was quiet 'cause I'm trying to figure it out, but it's very flavorful. I just can't really clearly distinguish what I'm tasting.
Yeah, there's a
In
lot
good way,
going
though,
on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, sometimes if people want to like, they're always like, "Do you have something that tastes like Blue Moon?" We'll generally just point them this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really taste like Blue Moon like that, but it's like in that similar like realm, especially with like the orange notes to it.
Blue Moon kind of has that subtle orange, and I never got into like the orange slice in the Blue Moon. I didn't
Yeah.
think that actually ever
No.
did anything for it other than add a garnish to a
Yeah.
glass bottle. But
Or jack your price up 75 cents at a bar. You know?
yeah, that too. But this is far more complex than
Oh,
that.
definitely.
It's far more complex than that.
This is, I think, the beer a lot of people who like the light beers, but they come to a craft brewery, they'll tend to gravitate toward this beer.
Yeah, we had a tangerine version in it, but the tangerine was super subtle. It wasn't noticeable, unfortunately.
I like that beer a lot. It was literally called Tangerine Grace.
Yeah.
I like that beer a lot. And we also have this beer, essentially this beer with lemonade, and they made a shandy with it.
Okay.
And we have that
Oh,
on
yeah.
tap right now.
That one's also very good.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
Blanket Sippin' Shandy.
I think I had that when I was down there.
I think,
last. It was pretty
I
good.
think so too.
Yeah. What else we got in the table here?
Well, before we go to a couple of IPAs,
All
crack
right.
open this dark beer. This is a porter that we currently have on tap, pass-through porter.
Okay.
And I'll actually just read what's on the can here. It's a traditional porter featuring roasty and robust flavors and aromas of medium roast coffee and hints of caramel.
And it's got the Hellertown, Pennsylvania there, right in the
Mhm.
label.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
With the trolley.
So the story behind the name is that Hellertown is known as like a pass-through town. This is kind of like a little, homage to Hellertown, and that's why it's called the pass-through porter.
We have these beer pretzels at Lost Tavern. Other breweries have them too. Other places have the naughty pretzels that are flavored to pair with beer. There's a smoky cheddar bacon flavor
Pretzel?
that goes so well with the dark beers.
I believe it.
I love eating those pretzels with this porter.
I'm going to get probably the time frame wrong, but this is probably when Lost Tavern opened up a year or two afterwards. I went there one random day after work, and it was in the Hellertown location because Bethlehem wasn't open yet. And I just sit down on a Fridays after work, and like I'm just looking at the list, and the bartender was asking, telling me that they have 2 bourbon barrel stouts, one that's aged in maybe 6 months and one that was aged in 9 months. And I was like, okay. And they're offering them to sample, So I'm like, okay, fine. So 4-ounce pours, and they serve them with a warm sugar cookie. And I don't know, it was so strange that it's such a unique combination, but it was absolutely, it was just so different. I'd never seen it before. It was amazing.
Yeah.
This is a good porter. Right on the front end, you got caramel, you got vanilla, you got coffee.
Mhm.
And then the back end, a lot of porters will just punch you with some sort of weird bitterness on the back end. It's like we give you all the flavor and then just right in the chin with I don't know. I've had some that finish ashtray. Like they start really well and they dive off. This one just kind of rolls off for the musicians out there. It's a decrescendo and it's wonderful.
Yeah. It's real smooth, man. It's not too in your face. And like you said, very light chocolate, very big on coffee. Honestly, I love this porter a lot. We had it on the Lucre tap, which is, I don't know if you guys are familiar. So it's like a side pull tap. So what makes it special, generally it's what you pour out of it is like a Czech lager or Quell, I think is like the most popular one. It's a Pilsner, not a lager. Sorry.
The Pilsner Quell.
Personal Quell. So the tap itself has like a microfilter. It creates this really like super fine foam. So the idea is that you need like the big mugs, like the Stein, like that mug that you have right there. I don't know what it's called. It's like, they're like dimple mugs. You basically have to like open it slightly, let the foam out, and then open it up right away so that it pulls just beer, and it gives you like the perfect head and perfect amount of beer. There's this thing called the milk tube where it's just all foam.
The milk tube.
Milk tube.
The milk pour? Is that what?
The milk tube, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you basically...
I'm going to let that one lie where it is.
I'll pass on that.
It's not actually milk. It's basically just all beer foam. You basically it's like 5 or 6 ounces. It's in a really tall glass. Basically what it used to be is back in the day, like when Czech when they invented the Pilsner, bartenders would usually give this as like a thanks for stepping in to the restaurant, to the bar on us.
Okay.
Or if the ladies didn't want to drink like a full beer, they didn't like beer, they'll drink the milk tube because you won't get all the flavors of the beer. You'll get the more lighter notes. So like mainly the chocolate.
Okay.
Back in the day, they would like drink it slowly, but nowadays it's more seen to like you have to chug it.
All right.
So you chug the foam. So it's really cold with some of the darker stuff. It's kind of like you're just drinking like chocolate foam.
Interesting.
Very, very delicious. It's very fun. But yeah, when we had this on the Lucre tap, it was fantastic. It was way softer than this.
And it's pretty soft now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, for
crazy.
a porter, it's very, very soft.
I agree. That's an excellent porter.
Yeah. Lost Tavern, man, out here killing it right now.
I think right now we're finally about to get into like our darker beers.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get there's this beer called Clusters. It's a brown ale made with like granola from I don't know if you've ever been to Clusters in Bethlehem on Main Street, the popcorn shop.
Yeah.
We use the granola.
Really?
Very good.
Oh,
man.
very cool.
That brown ale is really good.
That's
hopefully
cool.
That's another awesome business concept they're doing. Pairing with a local company, like that's really cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we do a lot of that stuff. It's been really, really nice.
Yeah.
Definitely our stouts are going to be coming back full force. Like Silent Partner is a very popular one.
It's one of the best things of the winter.
Yes,
That was
There's
very
a
good.
fire and a
stouts.
stout. There's nothing better than that.
No. I prefer my stout when I watch football. Hopefully happy, most likely angry.
Oh, yeah, you're a Steelers fan. That's going to happen, yeah.
It does.
I was a
Periodically,
Steelers
we'll
fan.
see.
What's that?
I was a Steelers fan.
What
but
happened?
I didn't know any better. No.
Hey, don't make me come over there.
So it's funny because the year that I was like maybe in 6th grade and I didn't watch football at all. I was a baseball fan. I was a Yankees fan. I just moved here like 2 years ago from the Bronx. I had a girlfriend at the time whose family was like super Steelers, like all Steelers.
That'll happen.
And I was like, okay, we'll watch. And, I kept coming over, for football games and whatnot. And then unironically that same year, the Steelers went to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And they won.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, yo, let's go Steelers, blah, 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 for a year after.
So that bandwagon's out front. You just jump right on it.
Yeah, I didn't know any better.
It happens.
I was introduced to it and I was like, all right, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw Troy Polamalu on there. I was like, that dude's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, he's just jumping over
That dude was awesome.
Dude, he's crazy. He's so crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then, dude, there were so many people on that team during that Super Bowl. Who was it? It was like him. Was it Antonio Holmes or something like that?
Santonio Holmes.
Santonio Holmes. Yeah, dude. He had that one catch.
Was it
James?
The toe taps in the background. Harrison. He's
Harrison. Oh, making that.
He's a freaking tank.
Dude, 103-mile interception or something.
Yeah, the 103-yard interception.
And one of the best defenses. That was with Joey Porter too, right?
What else is in the Magic Cooler now?
We have IPAs left.
Yeah,
now
we're getting into it now.
We're in the IPAs. All right.
Yeah.
I think.
Now, where do you guys feel like because the beer market's always trending in a certain direction to some flavor or whatever. What do you think we're going towards now?
Pilsners and lagers.
Okay, I
agree.
We're going back.
Interesting.
Yeah,
we're going back. I started to notice it.
Okay.
Interesting.
People are into craft beer so much now beyond IPAs, sours, that they want to be able to get a beer that they might get like a 24 or 30, like a Coors Light, Miller Lite, Bud Light, like beers that they want to drink, but they go to a craft brewery and want something in the same name, a Pilsner, a lager, something light that they can session
with a lower ABV and
have like 5, 6, 7 beers.
My goal for this show is that I can show the people that there's more out there than Coors Light, Miller Lite, and Bud Light. Just that there's more beer on this planet.
That's what I go towards now. Like I usually drink Pilsners or something like a session,
Yeah, I also think Saisons and farmhouse ale styles. Well, since they're technically both the same, I think those are also going to be coming back as well. It's going to be very interesting to see like all the the Pilsners and the lagers coming back because those are hard beers to brew.
Are they?
Well, think about it. You can't hide any imperfections. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay. All. An IPA, you fuck something up, and then let me throw some fruit in there.
Let's throw some lactose in there.
Well,
a fruited IPA.
And then it gets down to like how long do you lager your beer? How long, like what brewing process are you following? What are you lagering for a little bit? On an earlier episode, we discussed Schlenkerla, which is a German traditional brew. They lager for like 3 months. Like that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably tastes crazy though.
It's very, very good. It's very good.
All right, so we got the Seeker right now. I would say this is our flagship beer. This is our flagship IPA. Everyone loves this beer. When we don't have it on tap, people are like, hey, when Seeker's coming back? Like almost immediately. Like, all right, my
This is a single American IPA.
Is that the can right there? Okay.
It's a very fresh IPA.
Yep. Big hop characteristics. We're going to be using Centennial and Cascade. So super citrusy, straight up, true American IPA. I would say this is our Trogs Perpetual.
You guys have been taking us through the seasons with the sampling of the Lost Tavern tonight. Yeah. It's pretty interesting in a good way, too.
Yeah.
I dig the quote at the top of this one. Honor the past, crafts the future. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice quote.
So our, I guess, slogan? Motto? Our mantra?
Yeah.
And I feel like the artwork here is very Bethlehem, Hellertown, Pennsylvania. Yeah. You got the stonework house, the water wheel outside. You got the horse hanging out there.
Grist mill?
Oh, it's the grist mill?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they say honor the past, craft the future. They have very kind of rooted in what the Lehigh Valley is, very historic place, Hellertown and Bethlehem specifically. And just even in the name Lost Tavern, this tavern that was somewhere in Hellertown, they don't know exactly where, that kind of played an important role in people coming to the town and the economics and the travel of the city. So yeah, we kind of know that there was a tavern there, but we don't know where it was at. So Lost Tavern is kind of a homage to the past in that way.
Yeah, it's owned by the Heller family, actually, the people who established Hellertown.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, so I got to be honest. I always thought the name Lost Tavern was a riff on the Lost River Cavern.
A lot of
I really thought it was, which is another tourist attraction around here. Wonderful. Yeah. I totally thought it was a riff on that, so that's very interesting. I have learned something. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
Now we got to find the tavern. People in Hellertown, check your basements.
This guy, the Seeker, who's on the can, and then he's also in the logo. But he's on this can. He's trying to find the tavern.
Did he leave a tavern before this?
I hope so.
I mean,
probably. I hope so. Yeah.
Right.
With the hand in the pocket and holding the lantern like that, heading towards the door, I feel like he could also be like, "I've had one too many. I'm going home to see my wife." Like that's possible. That's not that I've ever been in that position. Love you, Jen.
Fun fact: the Seeker is based off the owner, Tony.
Really?
That's him holding the lantern. Yeah, it's very funny.
I was like,
how they got it down.
Interesting story.
I want to see what the picture is based out of.
Yeah, I want to see I haven't seen the original.
I've never seen the original picture.
I'm wondering if he holds lanterns and walks around, or like on a regular basis, or is this?
I think I think he was carrying something else, and they edited it and appropriated whatever the lantern on there. But that logo is on our bar top in Bethlehem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that bar top
really
is
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I've clearly never looked down. I've been looking at the menu on the wall.
I'm not sure how to properly describe it. It's like a stainless steel inlay into this cement bar. And the stainless steel inlay has a light bulb where that lantern is in the Seeker. So it lights up and it flickers.
Wow.
And it's the bar top looks amazing.
Now, with there being so many breweries, honestly, in Lehigh Valley, I mean, everywhere in Pennsylvania is saturated with breweries. Does Lost Tavern collaborate with any other breweries?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. Which ones, like, mostly are?
Most recent one we did was New Trail, I believe.
Okay.
We did Abomination Brewing collab is gonna. We did one before, a double IPA.
Okay.
And we're about to release another one that's a triple IPA.
Okay.
And we have a great event, the Hops for Hope event. That's a fundraiser. One of our owners went to Penn State, so it's in partnership with Dawn for their pediatric cancer fundraiser. That's happening in September. And we have almost 40 breweries coming this year.
Yeah.
That,
that's incredible.
Essentially, you can buy a ticket for a tasting session. The tasting session, you just buy the time, so you can have unlimited beer, pretty much just sample beer from all over the place.
I know in general, Andy's not a Penn State fan at all.
Not at all.
No, not even a little bit.
Absolutely kidding. No, I'm a diehard Penn State
I went
fan.
to Temple, so I'm actually not a Penn State fan. But no, it's a great cause, though, and literally 100% of the proceeds go to
that's amazing.
Very cool.
Pediatric Cancer Fundraiser.
I worked it last year.
You gotta check that out,
dude.
It's
a lot of fun. Oh my god! Shout outs to Frank the Tank, man. So I'm gonna just tell this quick story, and I'm gonna point him towards this podcast. Let's just say, so you buy, I think it's like, I forget how much it costs, but you get a T-shirt, you get a tasting glass that comes, for the tasting event. So Frank the Tank buys session 1, cool beans. He loves beer. Like, I think you would love to have him on this podcast.
All right.
He knows everything about beer, all these breweries. Cool, whatever. He's chatting it up with the brewers, and Frank the Tank buys session number 2.
And how long are these sessions?
Hour and a half.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
Maybe 2 hours. Frank was just drinking for like 4 or 5 hours straight. My poor boy was clinging to life. We had to call his wife to come pick him
Oh no!
up. It was really bad, but he was fine. He was fine.
Not the wife phone call.
So now you can only buy one session.
Okay.
You can only buy
So
one
we're
session.
blaming Frank the Tank now. But
Yeah. Shout out to Frank the Tank. I love that guy.
That's funny.
New father. He's been loving the dad life. I haven't seen him in a while.
Frank, we got to meet, man.
I was gonna say
we
we
should
should
crack
probably,
open.
we should probably start. Well, we should probably get rid of the single and then get to the doubles.
Yeah. Well,
All right, yeah,
so
we'll
we
do
had a single American,
Okay.
and we're about to crack open a single in the New England style.
All right.
thank you.
On our menu, we name all our beers that are hazy in this New England style. This one's called Life's a Trip 3, and it's an experimental series that the brewers put together to try out different hops, different malt bills, just different ways to produce IPAs. And there is some hop science that's happening in the brewery world now that, there's some hops that don't even have names. And
I
they're
love
just
the
like
name.
letters and
Life's a
numbers.
Trip. It's just experimental series, very
Yeah.
direct, straightforward. That's fantastic.
I'm going to launch a preemptive strike on this one.
Stellar Sip.
So,
And I will tell you, I've had this before. I love this beer. And
This
there was
beer
a
is
volume 5
awesome.
of this beer.
I
that
love
this beer is phenomenal. Volume 5 was just like 2 notches above that. It was insanely good.
This was the first beer to kick on draft at Music Fest.
Really?
Yeah, before it reached the second weekend, it kicked almost immediately. It was so popular.
I was
So
happy to help with
crushable.
that. I was very happy to help with that.
Yeah, I mean, I drank so much of this, like nonstop.
Yeah, I think
This beer was good.
out of what we had on tap for Music Fest, this gotta be my number one. I'm an IPA drinker and I love hazy IPAs. I like single hazy IPAs the best because I feel like you can kind of session something when it's around six something percent, but as soon as you get into like 7, 8, you might have. I can't session a 8% beer.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So with the text from the brewer earlier, shout out to Derek. So what I was asking him was, so Life's a Trip, the whole series is based off of one yeast. There's been a new experimental yeast that essentially is made for hazy IPA. So it's meant to make it be hazy and juicy. And it's literally just called hazy yeast. And that's it. And the only thing that separates every other beer from each other, so like obviously the first Life's a Trip, it's going to use that yeast and it's going to use like a pretty straight up like malt bill. And then Life's a Trip volume 2 and 3, the grain bill, not the malt bill, is different. So it's going to be more of a flaked oak. So the oats, when they're flaked, they're going to give it a more like kind of like a creamier, like mouthy feel, which is why like this beer is really soft.
Yeah, it is.
And more of the malted wheat, which is also going to give it some like, slightly darker flavors. This specific one is going to be using Waiiti and New Zealand Hop 214. Is it 214? Yeah, 214. So it's going to give it those like nice peachy, like tropical flavors as well. In my opinion, it kind of tastes like juice that like just fermented just a little bit. This is kind of what it tastes like. And I love how it tastes.
It is that total mouthfeel of a tropical fruit juice of some kind with a truly just wonderful amount of flavor. I'm going to gush over this beer.
Yeah.
It's definitely a vacation IPA.
Oh, it is.
100%.
And the hoppiness doesn't linger on the palate
Exactly.
either. It's just so smooth.
Yeah.
So good.
The Life's a Trip is all based upon the yeast. So there's going to be more variations of this.
Yeah, we reached
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we were on 6.
There's a
and
6. I knew there was a
they
5.
re-released 3, I think because
It was the most popular.
this one was the most popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would bet they're doing 7, and 8.
I'm going to need text messages, some sort of signal in the sky.
Yeah. It'd be very cool, but we'll see.
Are
We'll
you
get
guys? What type of beer do you like to drink? What's your preferred style?
Fermented.
Oh yeah,
Understandable. Have a great day.
No, that's pretty much it. I will try anything. Good IPAs, lagers, stouts are tend to be where I trend overall. I'm kind of with Andy on the sours aren't necessarily my first go-to, but the sours from Lost Tavern I will go to because I've had them before. They're flavorful and they're not that overwhelming. I would say fermented and good beer is the wheelhouse that I am in, and the reason I have a podcast after all. So.
I mean, I'm the same. I'm also situational. Like I said earlier, like cold night or whatever it is, you want to have a nice stout or something like that. You're sitting outside by the fire. I want to have a stout. But like, if I'm all out all day with my friends, with my bachelor party coming up in a few weeks, like I'm gonna be drinking pilsners or something with a lower ABV with still that strong flavor profile. But,
so by the time this one comes out, your bachelor party will be done.
it'll be
your
done.
wedding will be done.
It'll be done.
It might actually be that weekend that this one comes out.
For
It's a
sure.
distinct possibility. If
Oh boy, let's not play that in
schedule
front of those
correctly.
guys. No, we're okay.
Congratulations, by the
Thank you,
way,
sir.
on the
Thank you.
upcoming nuptials.
I do like double dry hop IPAs.
Yes.
That's my preference. I do like those a lot. Like double and triple IPAs, like it gets too much, 8 or 9% to me. Like I'm gonna have it, watch some fights and drink a couple of those. Oh, I'm hurting the next day.
Oh, yeah. They're dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
They're dangerous. I remember going to a party and I'm crushing 4 cans of like a triple IPA. I think they were like 11 or 12%.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I don't even know how I made it home, but I know I had to get my car the next morning.
they do.
You have a couple of heavy hitters. Sometimes they don't taste like that much. The sour that was out here earlier, I would have never guessed that was 8%. I would have had 2 cans of that and been like, what happened?
Yeah. Oh man.
What's up next? This is like Christmas. It's
We got a lot of beer on the table.
We
right
do have
here.
a lot of beer. We decided, why not a little bit?
Yeah. It's, right now, I cracked up on what's called the 7 Years Lost, a beer made in commemoration for Lost Tavern's 7-year anniversary, which just happened over the summer. This is a hazy IPA. It's a hazy double IPA.
No, thank you.
I'll read the can art. It says, "Where have the last 7 years gone? We can't thank you all enough for your loyal support over the years through thick and thin. It's been a true pleasure getting lost with all on the regular." This IPA, I think it's mainly hopped with Luminosa hops and I believe finished with Citra. It has a lemonade type of finish at the end, which I really enjoy. And it's also not as hazy. It's a little bit more translucent compared to other hazy IPAs.
like a sweet vanilla thing going right on the front end of it.
Yeah, the nose is like really tropical. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I remember where I was talking to them. They were like, "Yeah, it's like kind of papaya forward." And I'm like, "Yeah, it
That's
is
what I was gonna
papaya
say, yeah,
forward."
definitely.
I grew up eating a lot of papaya, and I'm like, "Yeah, damn." It's the first time I like really picked it out.
Okay, that's my brain was trying to figure out what was on the front end. That's exactly what it is. My
Yeah.
brain just didn't get there yet.
Kind of like a starchy fruit.
Yeah.
Could have been the 7 preceding beers that took the
Like
brain a
a-
little bit kicking
A
gear.
melon,
Yeah, like a melon.
cantaloupe.
Yeah, anything real starchy. Definitely melon.
But smooth, but very smooth. There's no like unpleasant bite on the back end or anything. There again, it's all flavor all the way through.
I mean, I know traditional West Coast IPAs, you get that bite. You know, that's just what the profile that they're known for. But these are very, very easy drinking IPAs.
Uh-huh. Almost a little too easy drinking IPAs. They can go down real well.
The 6 years lost from last year's anniversary was a triple, and it was pretty sweet.
That's
It
super
hit that
sweet.
hit that ABV pretty well.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
easy to
that's-
drink.
Those are the ones that I drank for the party. They were destructive.
This one goes down really easy. It tastes like a celebration. Like this is a good celebration beer overall. Something's happy going on. You go for this one.
The one thing there's a routine in all the beers from Lost Tavern. They're all just super fresh, easy drinking.
That's like the repeat theme, right? Is that these
It
are
is.
easy drinking.
Yes.
They're not. We haven't had anything on the table yet.
No.
I'll post a picture. The table's getting a little full at this point.
Yeah, move some cans over too.
There hasn't been a single thing I took a sip of and went, that's not going down easy. Everything has gone down very easy.
Yeah, I think our tap list usually stays pretty diverse, and we can accommodate anyone's beer palate that comes in. You know, whether they want a dark beer, a light beer, an IPA, a sour, something sweet. Kind of have a nice diverse tap list at all times.
What do you guys usually offer on the tap list? How many different choices?
I'd say at the least like 14 to 16
Okay.
beers,
Okay.
and I'd say at the most between our taps and then what we could offer in a single can, I've had almost 30 beers available.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that when I look at the menu, it takes me a minute. And normally someone, like the service is great. They're on you right away. What would you like? And I look at the menu. I'm like, timeout. I need.
The font gets smaller and smaller almost every week. We have so many beers on tap, man. It's crazy. Why
If
not?
you do seltzers, we are doing one of our drinkable episodes with White Claw, which will come out shortly after this. That's an adventure and a half.
Black cherry's the best. I'll just say that,
Mm-mm.
yeah. Or lime.
No. Masaki says
Unspeakable.
absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Not having it. Not
I'm
doing
very
Very
it.
strong
raspberry
opinions in
fan?
the seltzer community, I'm sure.
You know, I like the berry flavors.
Nah, I know you do. Nah, black cherry's the best.
I feel like this is moderate alcohol confession, but I do drink the black cherry on it. I will
Yes,
buy just a 12
Of
pack
course
every
you do.
once
That's
in a
what I'm
while.
talking about.
Then you can
Normal
play your
White
drums in the
Claws or-
corner. It's okay.
No, it's 5.5%, and they go down like butter. Like it's just.
What's that stronger White Claw called?
Oh, the surge.
White Claw XL.
Oh.
White Claw Surge.
that I've never had.
Stronger White Claw is called Four Loko, right?
Mm-hmm.
I miss original recipe for Loco.
Yeah.
Just put a 5-hour energy shot in it and you'll be fine.
We just called that a Jaeger bomb. That
Yeah,
was
Ah, yes.
that is for Loco Jaeger bomb.
All right. So, what are your top 3, like, lower end, like, beers? Because for me, it's got to be like PBR, Hams, and then Natty Light.
Oh man.
Lower end meaning cost wise?
Cost wise, yeah. So, that'll be like your Miller Lite, you
Okay.
know, anything like below, like Yingling.
That's a
down.
pretty good question. It's like asking somebody what your 3 favorite movies are. I don't know about that.
It's hard. Yeah. Obviously, you're not always going to get craft beer. Someone's gonna hand you a
It's
Miller
pushing
Lite.
harder
You're
than
like,
you-
all
okay.
right, I need it. I
I'm
need to
leaving
drink
that party. We're not.
it.
I would say Genesee Cream. I would
Ooh,
go
yeah.
for.
All American.
That one's rough, but it goes down. It works. Oh
Well, do you also like Milwaukee then?
no, Straub. If anybody's ever heard of Straub, I'll go for
Straub's
Straub.
actually where I'm. Like I grew up around Straub. Straub's like a half hour from my house. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really find it that much, but it's really good. It's a great budget beer.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't call Yingling a budget beer, but that's my other go-to. Is
It's
Yingling-
relatively inexpensive nowadays, I would say.
I mean, personally, I think I would go with all day IPA.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
that
Founders.
acceptable?
Founders, yeah,
all
those,
day.
those are
Okay.
nowadays. Those are like pretty like
Founders all
Yeah.
day.
nice
yeah.
session IPA. Yeah, I
I
think
like
I got
if you
one
like
for like
Founders,
the
you
old
must
school.
love a 60-minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Coors
love
Original.
Exuded.
Coors original.
Coors Original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Coors original and Yingling.
banquets are
All right,
cool.
all right.
Yeah, Coors
Banquets,
banquets.
yeah.
those are cool.
Yeah.
I had
Nice little bottles.
I just can't do like Miller Lite, Bud
No.
Light, Coors. I
I've been
can't do
getting
High Lifes.
into
They give me a
the
headache.
Miller High Lifes. Those,
Yes.
are, those are pretty
Miller
good.
High
As of
Lifes.
late, the Miller High Lifes have been really good.
I'll give you the High Lifes. The first
Yeah.
one not so good. Second one slightly better. Anything after number 2 starts to get better and better and better, and it seems like a good decision by the end of the 6-pack. So
Oh yeah,
PBR,
PBR.
$2,
PBR is not a
$50.
bad beer.
$3.
It really
It's
isn't.
all American, man.
You
That's
got
all
to
you can
listen to
ask for.
episode
I
10
always think
because
that.
we thought PBR would fare a lot better than it did, but the one that won is the local PA beer. The one that beat that out is the local PA beer. It's kind of a shocker. So, did you listen to the budget beer battle that we did for this for this?
No, I didn't think I get to catch that one.
Oh,
Episode
unintentionally, I was
10.
referencing that. I guess.
Episode 10. You got to check out the budget beer
Yeah.
bracket booze battle. I'm
Really?
astounded that I pronounced that correctly after all the beers that I've had.
Yeah.
Oh, we got PBR in there. We got Steel Reserve in there. We got
Steel Reserve
Oh,
is too
man.
brutal for me.
That makes you cringe.
That
Just
was
so you
not
take a
good
sip.
for me.
It's
That's
like,
my
okay, no, thank
preferred
you.
40 though.
No shot.
the
Ugh.
Steel Reserve.
Yeah, the Steel
Oh.
Reserve 40.
I always save the extra for the little Corona big boy. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
That
There
was
you go.
one to go to.
Go listen to episode 10. It was a lot of fun.
You want to explain this last one, Sheen?
All right, so
I'm loving this, by the way. The can on here, Andy will understand why. Which one are you grabbing? That one? That
Check
one?
this
There's
one
two.
out.
There's the
Same
same
beer, different label
all
art.
right,
All right.
take a look at them.
So I saw the mouse pointer on this particular can.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And Andy will know that in real life, I'm an IT
All right,
guy because
so-
I'm Andy's IT guy. In real life.
Disclaimer, fellas, this beer was brewed March 30th. So it's an old beer. So
Okay.
I can't promise you that it's good.
All right.
So this is short hops. This is the beer that they brewed for me for my Smash Bros tournament.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
We're getting
only-
the label
Yeah,
on this
it's what-
one.
yeah. When you
As
guys
far
are,
as I understand, there's only 4 or 5 other people that have this beer still.
Are you serious?
This is a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And I own like 6 4-packs. I have to send them out to the people who did the art label.
I only want to open one and have a little bit.
yeah,
I
pick,
feel
pick
bad.
which
That's
one you want
fine.
to
Is this the
open. You
same
can
beer?
keep the other one.
Yeah, you can
same
keep the
beer.
other one.
There's
Have
a
I
couple
thanked you
other
guys for
unopened
coming
ones.
yet? I feel like I haven't thanked you guys for coming yet.
So
Open that one. This
Okay.
one has the mouse pointer and Princess Peach.
So yeah,
Oh,
that's
let me- can I say
by
that can?
a good friend, Justin Wharton. They focus on vaporwave, which is like a style, like an aesthetic thing. It's like an art form, and they decided to do peach, very like old school, like retro look vibes. That one is the Smash Bros Mele menu select screen, which is crazy. And then there's 2 more.
Very cool.
So the 4-pack contained 4 different labels.
The can art of these is absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
They're all one of a kind too.
this one
so-
gives me Tron vibes. Like I did the Tron
Mhm.
coaster when I was down at Disney. I like the Tron movies.
Of course you did. Yeah.
The second one, not the first one's a little cheesy. The second one's awesome.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
of course I did. Thank you.
It wasn't an
3
insult.
times, not just once, 3 times when I was there, and this kind of reminds me of that. It's
Yeah.
really, really.
So this is a double IPA. I don't know if you've had the Rendezvous double IPA.
no.
I've had that actually, yeah, because you
So-
guys, that's the restaurant, right, in Bethlehem?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I've had that before.
So it's a very fluffy, soft body
Mhm.
double IPA. And I was like, can you make me that beer? Because it was my favorite beer at the time. And I was like, can you throw some mango in it? Because the greatest Smash Bros Melee player of all time, his tag or his gamer tag goes by Mango.
Okay.
Oh,
And
very
I was
cool.
like, let's
What's
just do
this whole
that.
gamer tag? What's the whole gamer tag?
Mango. It's just mango.
It's just mango.
Mango with a 0 as the O.
All right, that's how you know you're a badass player. There's no letters, there's no numbers,
he's
nothing
the
else
best.
going on. That's all you need. Right
He's the
there.
best.
Right,
All right.
He got that username early.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah.
I was chatting with him for a while too. We also released hot sauce in his name as well too, and I still have to send them out to him.
Lost Tavern does hot sauce?
No, this is from a friend of mine.
Oh,
we
okay.
sold it. We
Huh?
sold it during that event too.
Okay.
Really cool event. We had like 140 people there playing this silly little game, and it was just a fantastic day. It's really funny. We live streamed it, of course. We actually ended the live stream early because PC we were using just overheated and shat itself, and the guy running the stream got so plastered. We found them in the back where we had the bourbon barrel aged beer, just passed out right next to it. And I was like, well, it's a great event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
crazy. But this is honestly a really good beer. This was the beer that we had at the Wind Creek, and they were so in love with it. They were like, when can we get more? The owners were like, well, we can't make it for you. But yeah, no, this beer is fantastic. It's one of my favorite beers, and I was really happy that they were able to release this with me. It was really cool. We've never had anything like this in the Smash Bros. Like history, and it was cool to be like a part of the history. A lot of people talked about it and stuff like that. We were trying to get it shipped out to like around the U.S., but it's too impossible.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
so impossible.
Logistically, that's a
Impossible.
that's a nightmare.
But so many people kept like messaging me like, "Yo, like how can I get this?" Blah blah blah. A lot of people who went there were surprised that they liked beer for the first time, and I was like, "Yeah, well, we kind of make good beer."
It's not if it's not a Coors Light or some very, very inexpensive economic beer.
And I think that speaks to Lost Tavern in general. And that's an interesting comment. I didn't know I liked beer, and then I tried some of this stuff. I feel like Lost Tavern would be a great place that if beer is not your thing, or when you're like, I would like a drink, but I'm not sure beer is going to be it, you're going to find something for your palate.
I'm going just back, reiterating what I already said. Like everything is just tastes very fresh and sweet and subtle tasting. And you definitely don't taste that bitterness. That is strong profile is what you usually taste.
Oh yeah.
Very, very good.
So all right, let's have a little fun here. Let's go around the table. Andy, I'm going to make you go first. I'm totally putting you on the spot.
Of course you are.
Yep. Out of everything we had today, what was your stellar sip?
I'm absolutely hesitant to say this. I don't know why, but I am just pure shocked that I like this. I'm going with, congratulations, Lost Tavern. I'm going with the sour.
We have a convert. I love it.
I am converted. Hi, my name's Andy Miller, and I enjoy this gelato.
The convert.
This is absolutely. I don't have
This
enough to say
happens
about
in
this.
in the bar. This happens in the tap room
happens
on a
really?
weekly
Okay.
basis.
Oh,
But probably not as thorough I'm giving it. Like this is all the profiles that I don't like from normal, like traditional that I drink from like sours. This is definitely doesn't fit that at all. This is incredible. And I'm definitely going to promote this to, whoever I talk to. This is amazing.
Dude, the Zestebon is one of my favorite beers ever.
All right.
This, the Das Lagerhosen. Oh my God. Wait till
Lagerhosen.
Yeah, wait till Oktoberfest comes. Oh my God.
Oh,
that
I'm
beer
coming
is
for
that. The Oktoberfest.
so good. That beer is
yes.
crazy.
Is that a Marzen or?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
All right.
I've been waiting all year just to have it again. Favorite beer?
Today I got to go with the Lights Trip 3. This is a really good single IPA.
Yeah.
But I'm also an IPA drinker. I prefer IPAs. They're my favorite style of beer. And if I had to go something else, I'm gonna pour out some more of this porter.
I actually did halfway through. I refilled the Matt and Friends Drink the Universe Yeti. Yeti, I'm still waiting for that sponsorship. That's never going to happen.
You'd be surprised.
That's all right. That's the sounds of the table. It's rather full at this point. I'm also waiting for your cocktail shaker. If you haven't seen that, Yeti's making a cocktail shaker that looks
Really?
completely ridiculous. I ramble on and on here. I did enjoy the porter. That's what I put in the Yeti. But at the end of the day, I'm going with the Life's a Trip Volume 3. It is just really phenomenal IPA. There's just flavor everywhere. And if you said to me, what do you want to buy? What do you drink? What do you want to drink a case of? What do you want to drink in a solid session, quote unquote? I'm going for that.
Yeah.
I'm going for Life's a Trip Volume 3.
All across the board. Everything is amazing.
Yep. I'm giving everything on this table
Stellar sip.
Definitely a stellar sip moment.
I want to thank everybody for coming again. Jean, Masaki, Andy, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and thanks
course.
everybody for listening.
Of course.
Thank you.
We'll be
Thanks
back
for stopping
soon.
by.
Today's boozy quote is from an old Czech proverb. A fine beer may be judged with only one sip, but it is better to be thoroughly sure. On social media, please like, follow, and push all the buttons for us. That's Matt and Friends DTU at Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. For more information about the podcast, as well as links to our merch store, social media, and all the places you can listen to us, visit our website, mattandfriendsdtu.com. That's mattandfriendsdtu.com. Thank you again for listening to Matt and Friends Drink the Universe.